Okay, hello students. This is back to 7.5 and there are 3 more problems. The first 3 problems in the class I think I walked through, but I'm making this video just in case it helps you to go again or you did not understand. So this is lesson number 7.5, solve trigonometric equation, and we are going to use half double angle formula. And in these 3 problems basically we are finding all solution, means general solution, not just one particular solution. It doesn't have to be 0 to 2 pi, but it can be also beyond. So let's see if begin the first one. So sine square minus 4 minus 2 cosine square. If you look at this, at the most, what can we think of is, just want to make sure I copied right. Yes, so thanks. And only thing that we can think of is, this is sine square, that is minus. So we can use Pythagorean formula. And what is Pythagorean formula? Sine square theta plus cosine square theta is 1. And if I want to replace cosine, the best is replace sine square because there's no number before sine square. So sine square theta, if you subtract here cosine square theta, so directly it's 1 minus cosine square theta. So replace this by 1 minus cosine square theta equals 4. And then get all the cosine square on the left. So you add 2 cosine square theta this side and cosine square theta. So that way minus 2, 1 minus cosine square, so I get 2. I'm doing it fast, so this goes away, and then what I left is drop down this and minus, this is like a minus 1 plus 2 is plus 1 cosine square theta equals 4, and then you subtract 1 on both sides. So this goes away, this you get cosine square theta is 3. And then what does this mean is the cosine, you can put a square on both sides. It means cosine theta, so there is a 2, this goes away. There are 2 answers, not just 1 plus the square root of 3. So what this means is you get cosine theta is plus root 3 and cosine theta is minus root 3. I want you to remember this. This is 1.73 and something. This is minus 1.73. The question is, do we have an angle? Now you see this cosine theta, can we write it as, is there an angle? If I write theta, is whose angle is 1.73? So cosine of what angle is 1.73? So back of your mind, we should know that the graph, if you see cosine inverse function, if you see the cosine inverse function, if this is 0 and we know that the domain is plus 1 to minus 1 and the range of the cosine inverse is pi by 2 to pi, and that means the graph is this way, see? So the domain range for cosine inverse is, it has to be from minus 1 to plus 1, and the range is 0 to pi. So you can't have this number. So this does not belong to the domain of cosine inverse of x. And another way to look at it also is and the so is that minus 7.3. See, minus 7 is if this is minus 1, this is minus 2, this will be like a minus 7 minus root 3, and if I put a 1 here and this is 2, so this will be like a plus root 3. So you can't have anything, the values of inputs which are beyond my plus 1 and on the left of minus 1. Another way to look at it is the graph of cosine inverse is, see, the graph of cosine is something like this. So this is till 2 pi and this is pi. This is pi by 2, this is pi, this is 3 pi by 8. And you can see the graph of the graph of cosine is always between, not only the graph of cosine, we see it does not go below minus 1 and above plus 1. So there's no cosine of angle to give you that answer. So hope that comes. So this does not have no solution. It's a no solution. If you look at the next problem, cosine 2 theta is 3 sine theta. So now there's an angle sine. We can think of the formula for cosine 2 theta. So the cosine 2 theta is cosine square theta minus sine square theta, or 1 minus 2 sine square theta. So one of them has to be used. So the question is, which one to use? Hello? Call the participation class. So let me continue this. So the best option is, because there's a sign, I will select, let's select this one. So double angle formula, we can replace this cosine theta. 1 minus 2 sine square theta, 3 sine theta. So now let me do just because there is also square and there's a sine theta, we'll try to replace sine theta by some variable p. So in place of sine theta, so I'm going to write here, let's replace sine theta and make it a little easier, p. So this whole thing now, so this will be 1 minus 2, and because there is a 2, I'll put this p, and then the square equals 3, and then there's a p. So we get an easier equation back, and try to get everything on the left side. So what I'm going to do is, because there's a plus here, the smaller one is minus 2, so add 2p squared, yeah? And so everything we want on one side, so this is going to be p squared, but we don't want that. We don't want that a minus 1, so let's use 2 steps. So why these 2 steps are done, so that this becomes 0. Wait a minute. What did I do? Oh, so I'm doing the opposite here. I want to get a 0 here, so we will subtract this. So this will be this way. So this goes away, everything becomes 0, and 2p squared plus 3p, and you get minus 2. Okay, and then you can use this is same as writing back to 2p squared plus 3p minus 2 equals 0. How do we do? You write 2 parentheses, and remember there's a 2p. If there is a 2 here, 2p, it's not just 1. If it was 1, you just write p and p. But because there's a 2, I'll write 2 and it is 2. So you write 2 here. And then because you're writing that 2, you put it here. Then you're back to multiply 2 times minus 2 is negative 4. So this is negative 4, right? So we can split negative 4. What are our options? 1 times 4 is 2, 2 times 2 is also 2, but our goal is to get this plus 3. So the only best option is minus 1 and plus 4 will give you plus 3. So this is the option. The 2 factors that you can think is minus 1 and plus 4, and eventually this 2 you can take it below here, and this 2 crosses out this one and goes 2. So 2p minus 1 equals, p plus 2 is 0. And I use the zero product property. So what is zero product property? One of them has to be 0. We can directly write, and the shortcut trick is, so we can write p is, just write opposite of minus 1 is plus 1, and divide by, because there's a multiplication, you divide, so that's 2, or there's another one is, here you opposite of plus 2 is minus 2. Now replace back whatever that this part, you place it here, and here you get sine theta is 1/2, or sine theta is minus 2. The moment you see this part, and you can clearly see you can't have a minus 2. That's like smaller. This value is smaller than minus 1, right? So there is no theta does not exist. No, does not exist. So there's no solution for this. No solution. But what about here? Where is a sine of an angle is? So if you think of this, sine is, if you draw like this, the angle, so sine theta, we already know the answer is 30, which is pi by 6. Okay. Pi by 6, right? So this is, so we want answer is positive. Where is sine positive? In the first quadrant, and also in the, it's like it is pi by 6, 30 degrees is pi by 6. So 1 is pi by 6, so theta is pi by 6. And also you will see pi by, another one is theta is, in the second quadrant the sine is positive. See this part? This is sine and that is cos. Again and again I say, how do we know where is cosine and sine? Cosine is x and y is sine, right? So y is positive here. So another way to do is, until here is 180, you can do this as, you can do it 180 minus whatever is 30 is here, so 30 that way. Or you could directly say, hey, this is pi by 6. So 1 pi by 6, then you have 1 pi by 6, then you have 2 pi by 6, you have 3 pi by 6, you have 4 pi by 6, and 5 pi by 6. That's the 5 pi by 6. So there you go. So this answer, straight away we can write 5 pi by 6. Because 6 pi by 6, so what is this? 180 basically means pi, and pi is 6 pi by 6. Because there are 6 of them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That makes it pi. But we want the one that is before, so that's 5 for the answer. And you want to write a general equation because we want to know just generally, and because the period, what is the period of sine is 2 pi, so just add, going on adding, so it will next will be pi, 2 pi times 1 or pi by 6 plus 2 pi times 2 or pi by 6 and so on. So instead of writing all this, club this together and write pi by 6 plus 2k pi, and you're done. And the same thing you do here. Theta is this green color 5 pi by 6, and then you add a 2 pi times k, where k is integer pi, and that's it. You're done. So this is question number 1 and problem number 2. Hope this helps. Yeah, as I said, I made this video just in case we are confused in the class. So at least you know, you can replay this and see how nice it looks. Just wanted to show here, this part is why is because the sine graph, if you see this, the sine graph, if it is 2 pi and minus 2 pi, the sine graph goes like this, right? And continue like this. So if it is half, so this will be 1 and minus 1. Half is here, so that's like where we have, that's like where you have, this is like pi by 6, this is pi by 6, correct? So, and then again this graph goes on like this. So, and then you add pi by 2, so that's what that 2 pi. So right here also is, this is pi by 6. So every time you go on adding, and then not only this, if you can go to the left side, so this will go this side, and so on. So this will give you, this also will give you pi by 6. So it's like pi by 6, you take away 2 pi and multiply 6 here. So, and this will be, sorry, I made a mistake here. Yeah, this will be 6 here. So you multiply 6 here. You can see this is 12, and you take 1, 11. That's like a negative 11 pi by 6. So you can go other side also. So many angles. Now this is with respect to that one, right? You can start with the other one is 5 pi by 6. So this is that 5 pi by 6. And you do the same thing from here to here, this point. So that's like 2 pi. And you go on doing the same thing, and that's it. So hope that helps. Thank you for watching. Keep watching. There's one problem I could not do, is problem number 3. If I get time, I'm going to do that. Thank you. Keep watching.